I am honored to be speaking here with Eitan Behar, who's the director on of the organization to combat anti-Semitism for the World Zionist Organization. And today I'm in Yerushalayim. I'm in Jerusalem today on March 10th, and in a couple of hours, right in front of this building, we're going to kick off, or they're going to kick off, a series of rallies to combat anti-Semitism. Could you describe that a little bit?
Sure. Due to the rise in anti-Semitic attacks around the world, we're planning on holding about 60 rallies worldwide. One of them is right here in Jerusalem. The other rallies will take place in 19 or 20 different countries in various places in them. Some 60 of them, calling to stop anti-Semitism, stop hate, and the headline is "Hate Stops Here."
How many people are expected at the rally here in Jerusalem?
Here we're expecting around 300 people gathered right here, like the National Institutions building. Around the world is going to be, I believe, it's going to be in smaller groups. Okay, but the message will go out. We should stop anti-Semitism. We should fight anti-Semitism, and we should call upon all governments to take responsibility on the Jewish right or the Jewish community's rights to live safely wherever they live.
What exactly do you plan to accomplish? Is it just purely for awareness? What exactly is meant to be the accomplishment?
Well, the battle on anti-Semitism is purely raising awareness, because it's only a drop in the ocean. However, in order to do that, we got to wake up the people all over the world to call their governments for their just demand that they should and allowed to be living freely and safely in wherever they live around the world.
So let's say, again, a lot of my audience is American. What's your specific message to Americans nowadays?
Hate stops here. This is the message you're trying to pass on. Hate stops here, meaning not only anti-Semitism against Jews, mainly obviously against Jews, but we call upon everyone who cares about what is going on when it comes to attacks. 11 Jews were killed during service in the United States only 3 months ago. In South America, the chief rabbi is being almost to death in his house. In France, on a daily basis, there are attacks taking place. And what we are trying to do is unite the Jews from all over the world to go out to the street. Enough hiding, enough being scared, and the main goal is go out to the streets and demand your rights to live freely and safely wherever you are.
Most of the things you're describing right now have been more like right-wing anti-Semitism, more traditional type of neo-Nazi. Are you doing anything, or what are you doing to the newer version of the left-wing anti-Semitism?
Both. Anti-Semitism comes from both sides. The new version of anti-Semitism, the classical one, and the new anti-Semitism. This is something that we have to focus on ways, on tactics to counter it. A lot of people are saying, well, we're not anti-Semitic, we're just against the state of Israel. BDS is anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism, it is 100% part of anti-Semitism. And what we're facing right now is the combination of the new sort of anti-Semitism, Islamic anti-Semitism, together with left-wing organizations that call themselves human rights, under a human right message, which is not true, together with, unfortunately, a huge rise in right-wing anti-Semitism, which is the classical one. Swastikas, Jews should be wiped off the map, etc., etc.
Do you try to work at all with international NGOs like Amnesty or Human Rights Watch, who have been, they'll say some words here and there about right-wing anti-Semitism. They won't say anything otherwise, and it seems like a lot of their members, are affinity.
We are there together with other organizations around the world to make sure that both sorts both kinds of anti-Semitism are being exposed and fought against. There's no distinguish in our point of view between the new anti-Semitism to the regular one.
Is there an official World Zionist Organization response to the resolution that came out of Congress last week? That watered down resolution that was meant to originally combat, say bad thing, say that anti-Semitism was bad, and then ended up being, well, all hate is bad.
This is why, so when it comes to fighting anti-Semitism, this is why one of the reasons that we're using hate stops here, not only anti-Semitism, is to try and get also the non-Jews to stick together against this phenomena. I do believe that in a joint work together, we will be able to shake the governments around the world and call for stop any sort of hate, because at the end of the day, hate would go not only against Jews but only for other people who live in these countries. Obviously, we are focusing on stopping anti-Semitism. We are aware to the fact that people are, I don't know if you know that, but in many countries in Europe, and it started unfortunately also in the United States, people are hiding their Jewish identity. People are putting their mezuzahs on the inside part of their home, where are we? This is like, it's ridiculous. I mean, people are also in social media. Anti-Semitism is on the rise again, and we're aware to the fact that people are trying to are changing their last name, so God forbid they won't be accused for being Jewish or exposed as being Jewish. This is the time to make a stop for this. Go out to the streets. We have the state of Israel as a back of the world Jewry. We are here. We will always be there for them, just as they are and will always be there for us.
Is it, and I assume it is, the World Zionist Organization pushing for the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism?
Part of it, yes.
Okay.
Obviously, yeah, it's us, but it's also like Jewish agencies. It's also like many other organizations. We've been working closely with other organizations in order to obviously push it, and we call upon every government to adopt the IHRA definition.
Very good. Is there anything that you would like the people that are watching this to be able to, any website you want them to go to, or any specific thing you would like them to do?
First and foremost, join the fight against anti-Semitism. Today, in particular, we're holding these rallies around the world under the title of Hate Stops Here. They can join our Facebook page, World Zionist Organization. But the most important thing is not to be quiet. Whenever you hear anything, one of the most important things in fighting anti-Semitism is to raise awareness, to make sure that the issue is being dealt with. It is out there. It is part of the daily agenda. If we're not going to put it on a daily agenda, people are not going to know what exactly is taking place around the world. So what we're asking, we're asking the people who are viewing this is to join us. Not only the World Zionist Organization, any sort of organization, to raise awareness, share information. One important thing that I did not yet mention, according to the European Union survey that took place 2.5 months ago, over 79% of those who were physically attacked with anti-Semitism did not report the incident to any law enforcement, not to the rabbi, not to the police, nothing. That means that people are afraid of their lives. Enough is enough. We call upon the governments to take responsibility and let Jews live safely wherever they live. Okay.